The final session for this convening. There we go. I know you can see my screen, so we're good to go. I usually like to end the community convenings on a positive note, which includes, well, for those of us who are in London, eating chocolates that Paula has graciously given us, and for all of you online, by recognizing the amazing efforts you all have undertaken in the last PI. It's a good reflection to see how much work has been done, in addition to all the great report outs from the work streams, and so on and so forth. So I will try, we're 4 minutes out of time, I'll try and get through this fairly quickly. I've also got some announcements at the end, which you all need to pay attention to, so stick around for that. Between January and May of this year, this is sort of the makeup of our community. We've had a significant number of people become builders or leaders in our community, those folks who are actively leading work streams or taking initiatives to build and contribute new stuff, which is excellent and something to celebrate. The reason why it's January to May is because we needed to have a cut-off time, and we aren't quite yet at the end of the quarter. So forgive me, I know we usually do this by quarter systems, but this event didn't line up with the end of the second quarter. So we've got builders, we've got contributors and participants. The majority of you people fit in this category. These are people who are attending the workstream calls, contributing code on GitHub, and we want to thank you for all that effort. We still have a huge chunk of people who are explorers. These are not high engagement folks. These are people who might attend one call, miss a couple of others, or not necessarily make significant contributions. And we've got some plans to help you become more active contributors. So this is sort of the makeup of all the people who have been active in our community from January to May 2023. Please take note of that timeline. So awards. We usually give awards to 3 categories of people. 1 is active community members. 2, new and promising members. And 3, a very special recognition for people who have lifted quite a bit in our community and really pushed Mojulu forward. And we've got, I think it's 4 people who are in the special recognition category today. So hang in there, you might be one of them. Active community members recognizes community members who have actively contributed to the development of Mojulu. And for the period of January to May 2023, the top 10 active contributors in our community are Miguel de Barros, Jane Stroken. Jane, I think this is the first time on your top 3. Nicholas Ntulume. From High People, we've got Pedro Barrito, Faretu, Kevin Liao, Michael Richards, Shui Yilin, Vijay Guti, Rui Rocha, Rui is here, I think, and Albert Ndenge Yintwali. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So a quick virtual round of applause for all these guys and all the amazing work that they've done. Congratulations to each and every one of you. I wish I had like a virtual swag that I could bestow upon you, but nonetheless, it's important that we recognize your active contributions. Thank you so much. Also, it's great to see new people on this list rather than the usual folks. That's something that I'm very happy to see. Right, let's go to new and promising community members. These are folks who are new and they sort of just hit the ground running, and it's great to see all their contributions. And for the period of January to May 2023, these are the folks who are new in our community. Eric Wilfred Daniel, Chris Lawrence is from Interledger, Shui Lin, Doug Brooks, Nicholas, and then we've got a bunch of GitHub usernames, and we don't really know who they are. STMSI Let Me Cook, Aingon Fu, which I believe should be from Sitsoworks, yes? Actually, a bunch of these are from Sitsoworks, which is really great to see. Haimiat TW22, that's from Taiwan, I think. Semuju Sharif, I believe that is from Uganda, and Kenneth Kaiser. Amazing people. Virtual round of applause for you guys. It's great to see all these folks in our community. And then special recognition. Everyone's in the chat. I want to see what everyone's saying in the chat. I can't see. Good. Yes, Miguel. Let Me Cook is an amazing name. I will steal that username. Awesome. Great. Now, again, special recognition is usually decided by me and Megan. That's it. And it's our discussion, and we will not reveal our criteria. But I will say that these things have moved, the people we're recognizing have lifted a huge load and really moved Moduloop forward in a significant way, as determined by me and Megan. We've got 4. So the first person is Pedro and the VNext team for getting VNext to Alpha. A round of applause for them. I think that's a very significant effort and achievement, especially considering how far we've come from when all the efforts to do the reference architecture work, and everything we've come. I think that's great. I do want to specifically call out also the Sitsoworks folks. I know a lot of you people from the Sitsoworks team joined the VNext effort, and we're very, very, very grateful for that. I'm looking through the chat. Great. Then the next person is Mr. Tom Daly for Miniloop. Miniloop has been an incredible tool. We hear it all the time when we go out to outreach and doing boot camps or hackathons. It's just made life a whole lot easier to get Moduloop installed on your computer. And if you haven't done it, you really should check it out. And it's so great. It's really do take the time to check out Miniloop. And one of the things that's really important for us has been to get as many people who are Moduloop curious as possible to be able to download Moduloop on their platform, their laptop, and at least interact with the testing toolkit and take the testing toolkit course on the Moduloop training program. For a while, we've defined that as a starting line, and this is great to see. So, Tom, well done. Thank you so much for all the effort and the hard work. This is great to see. Yep. Yeah, Tom is not here. I should have stayed 2 minutes long. Okay. Then, number 3, Steve Haley and the Community Council for putting together and launching the Moduloop Speaker Bureau. The original idea came from Steve, and then the Community Council, led by Innocent Kawoya as a co-chair, really did a lot of work to put together the Moduloop Speaker Bureau. And we've heard from a lot of our partners and people around the Moduloop ecosystem that it's a great list of speakers. I don't know if you've seen the list. It's really good. We're happy that we can now ask members of our community to go and speak at their events, and therefore be able to evangelize Moduloop to a much wider target audience than we could ourselves. So congratulations to all those folks. Speaker Bureau members, you have a very solemn responsibility to represent the community wherever you shall be called to speak, and we're looking forward to that. One more. The last person we want to recognize is Desire Kachenje for her work on the Moduloop Accelerator Program. Some of you might have seen this. Desire led the Accelerator Program in Kigali, Rwanda in early January. which brought a number of system integrators into our community. People like Wired In, who I think are here. Elaine should be here. Orion Systems, MVend, and it just contributed to having more people in the community. We also took a version of the accelerator program and ran it on day one of the Rwanda convening, which was excellent. We, for the first time, I had something that I will never forget. We had some potential adopters say that they wanted to sit down with the developers and see how people install Mojo Loop and use it, and it was great. It was phenomenal to see. So we have one more tool in our bucket, that in our tool shed, I guess, that allows us to onboard and bring in more people into our community. So a huge round of applause to these four folks and their groups: Pedro and the VNext team, Tom Daly, Steve Haley and the Community Council, and Isaac Kachenje. Really well done. This is a lot of great work that's happened since January. Very grateful, and yeah, we really should celebrate all the work. Super. So I'm done with the words. So as a good community manager, I carry a carrot and a stick. So let's go to the stick. Notices and reminders. You've heard a lot about workstream guidance and governance. I want to specifically call out some rules that we will need to follow. And before I do that, I want to tell you why. For anyone coming into the Mojo Loop community and who wants to contribute, the default place contribution happens is in the workstreams. If you've got a friend, or if you know somebody who's gone to the accelerator program, or somebody who's done the training program and wants to contribute, the place you take them is to the workstreams. Now, when we started thinking about that, we wanted to provide workstreams with better governance and guidance so that they work effectively, and so that we can also make it as easy as possible for anyone outside the community looking to come in to join and contribute. So all the work streams will need definition and objectives. There's a template for this. Work streams in the last PI would remember. And we'll send you the same Google form, and you're able to fill it out with your definitions and your objectives and so on and so forth. All work streams are required to have regular, open meetings, meaning anybody can join. And these should be scheduled and publicized through Mojo Loop Community Central. Let's break that down. Each work stream should have at least a weekly or a fortnightly meeting. That is a requirement. Work stream leads pay attention. Each work stream needs to track their issues on Mojo Loop's GitHub, and it needs to be public, because we will send people to those repositories and those issue trackers, and they should be able to see what is being worked on, and they should be able to contribute. So that has to happen. 2, 3, we need a sprint review at least once every 2 weeks. You've seen a version of that with Paul. For the technical work streams, we need a sprint review at least once every 2 weeks, and we'll share some more details in the coming weeks about how that's going to happen. You've seen a version of that with the product council, where Paul invites a work stream to sort of give us progress updates, and we'll fine-tune that process going on. Reporting. I have to report to the TGB, the board, to Paula, and to everyone, so I'm going to have to make you report to the rest of us as well. Makes our lives easier. Every workstream is required to report their progress every fortnight on Community Central. If you don't know what Community Central is, go to community.mojoloop.io. That is Community Central. And we'll provide a template. You just need to let us know basically what you're working on, what's been delayed, what help do you need. If you've changed the time for your meetings, that's the place to update it. Everything that's going on in your work stream, we just need like a paragraph up on Community Central every 2 weeks, so that everybody knows. At a glance, we have one place where everyone and anyone can publicly get an update on what's happening in the various work streams, and they know how to plug in. Remember, we're trying to be as open, as visible as possible, not just doing the work, but also showing the work. The progress is also reported to the product manager and the product council, that's Paul Macon and his team, and they'll give direction through the product council on how that will happen. Right. One of the other things, I have graciously granted Paul Macon a stick, with which he will determine the status of every work stream every 2 weeks. So work streams will now be updated with one of 4 statuses. That is either active, inactive, on hold, or a work stream is closed. Now, in the case a work stream is inactive or is on hold or is closed, the product manager will give a reason. This information will be public and it will be available on Community Central. So that's a site you should bookmark, just so that you know exactly what's going on in all the various work streams. So somebody saying something in the chat. Yes, Mila, Fortnite is every 2 weeks. Thank you for clarifying that. Cool.
All right, some of us Americans have to remember that we're not steeped in the British traditions, so I didn't.
Right. Thank you for clarifying that. So for American friends, fortnightly means every 2 weeks. This is the last one, I promise. I will try and get you out of here before time. The next convening is happening on the 30th October to 3rd November in Lusaka, Zambia. Great location. There's a lot of interesting activity there. It would be really great to have all of you there in person. Do everything italicized and underlined you can to be in Lusaka in person. Those of you who've been at our convenings, the last 2 or 3 convenings, you've seen the sort of growth and engagement we've had and how we can get a lot of things done when we're all together in the same room. So please do whatever you can to make sure you're in there, you're in Lusaka in person, 30th of October to 3rd November. It's going to be a great week. You will, if you're signed up onto the Mojo Loop newsletter, you will get all the details, including call for sessions and save the dates and all that glorious information. So please do plan for it as soon as possible. It would be great to have you all there. We will be doing a call for sessions for the Zambia event, so we'll launch that early enough. So in case you're thinking, how do I get to present at the convening, you will get an email on in that regard fairly soon. That said, I want to quickly pass it to Paula, and then after Paula, I'll pass it to Miller for any closing remarks. Paula?
All right, thanks, Samir. Hopefully folks can hear me. I hope you had a productive week. This week, as many of you know, the Mojo Loop team has been here in London. So in parallel to the sessions in the afternoon, we've been working all week long to refine our priorities for the rest of this year across all the different functional areas. So hopefully as you start re-engaging day-to-day in the community council and the product council and with the work streams, you'll start seeing some new focus areas for us for the rest of the year. Hopefully that supports your efforts and your work and makes your life easier and smoother as you participate in the work streams, and then culminates with what hopes to be a very successful event in Zambia the last week of October, first week of November. It's been really great to see so many folks stay with us over the course of the 3 days. We know it's challenging to do it virtually, so do appreciate particularly those folks that had extreme early and late hours in their days. Know it takes a special effort to have that participation. As I mentioned at the beginning of this week, we feel very energized about the market and the interest in Mojo Loop, very determined to accelerate deployment. and looking forward to looping you all in as we continue to see more success. So again, thanks for joining us, and back to you, Simon.
I'll pass it to Miller.
Great. Thank you, everyone, for joining. This is another great week of convening activity. I've learned a ton from this. The readouts are fantastic. And I really appreciate the focus through the work streams and trying to get us organized so we can get a good showing as well in Lusaka. But also wanted to remind people that there's work going on outside of the work streams as well that's still functional and part of our work. In particular, you'll be asked at some point to participate in reviewing the vNext alpha deliverable so that we can see where we are on that journey and what should we take as next steps for that. That's something we really do need to get the community's attention on. And of course, getting the work stream spun up so we can make progress there. And I fully appreciated Steve coming forward with the go-to-market work that we learned about, where we're now seeing a lot of activity for running proofs of concept in nation scale deployments, which could end up with a lot of Mojaloop running on the continent. I think it's really great to see that activity spin up. So thank you very much. I won't keep you any further, but I really appreciate the attendance and look forward to seeing everybody in person in Lusaka. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. If you're in London, we are going to have a sumptuous dinner. If you're not with us, sorry, maybe in Lusaka. Please give us a wave as you exit if you can come on camera, and we will see you again virtually and soon. Thanks, everyone. Ooh, Jane.